I'm Marley.
Hi.
I'm Dr. B. I'm going to be performing a skin mapping, a face mapping, and a scalp exam on you today. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what that's going to involve is me really looking very thoroughly first at the skin, so I'll start there, and then moving on to the head. Do you have any current complaints?
Not really.
Okay.
I guess sometimes during the summer my skin gets a little more oily.
More oily in the summer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what about in the winter? That goes away, or does it ebb towards dryness?
I would say it goes towards dryness.
Okay, so it sounds like you're having some combination skin,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. And it is summer, and it is, of course, warm in here, so you might be a little bit more oily than you would even naturally, but we'll take a look at everything. So I'm just going to start out by looking with my light just from far away, so close your eyes for me. And I'm just doing initial inspection here. I do see quite a bit of freckling. Is that normal for you?
Mm-hmm.
And is that something that tends to only happen in the summer, or is it all year round?
I would say all year round, but it comes out more in the summer.
Okay. Are you wearing a daily SPF?
Mm-hmm.
Good. No other major issues. I'm not seeing any scrapes or bruises or things I'd need to avoid. So I'm just going to apply some gloves before I touch your face. So I'll start out with your right side, so I'm just going to tilt your head slightly. And what I'm going to do is just examine each section on its own. So starting out with the right forehead. And I'm seeing that freckling. The hairline looks nice and smooth. There's no real breakage or change in the texture there. Any issues with receding hairline or anything like that?
No.
Okay. And there are quite a few freckles. Let me take a closer look. Just have a slight magnifying lens that you'll feel touch you. Pores are quite small. There are just fine hairs on the face, as is typical. They're very blonde. A couple of the freckles are a little bit larger than others. Any pain on the face right here?
No.
Okay. Looking at the eyebrows, very thick, even consistency. Just want to compare that side to side. Very similar. I'll just measure. And those are perfectly symmetrical. So the same thing with the hairline. So from the peak there, this side, symmetrical. Just looking for any swelling in the face as well. Some asymmetry is normal, but there shouldn't be too large of a variation side to side. Okay, and that all looks fine. So moving on to this side. It has very similar consistency and texture to the other side. The pores are quite small. Any pain there?
No.
Okay. While I'm over here, I'll move over to this cheek. There is just a little bit of oil in this T-zone as is normal, but it's actually not excessive. So it's nothing I would recommend other than just a cleanser at the end of the night and some sort of oil-free moisturizer. Do you use that already?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So there's one little freckle over here that I just want to watch. I'm going to measure it. So we've got about 1 millimeter by 2 millimeters, so some slight asymmetry there. But it's completely flat and consistent in color. So we'll just watch it for now. Just moving to the nose, the bridge of the nose. And the pores here are a little bigger. Again, that is typical. That's what we usually see, and a little bit more oil buildup. Really no blackheads, no blemishes. Your skin's in really good shape. Just another freckle right there. We'll just take a measurement of. And that one's symmetrical and even smaller, so I don't think we need to worry. Any pain or tenderness when I touch you here?
Mm-mm.
What about in the chin area?
No.
There?
Mm-mm.
Looking now at the chin. And again, just a little bit of oil production, as is relatively typical. I think since you're not breaking out, it's showing me that it's pretty much sitting on the surface of the skin, right? It's not falling into the pores and getting clogged up. So other than just you need some paper to sort of dab the oil away, just for control of that. And if you start having blemishes from it, that's when we want to really up our cleanser game. Right. So the face looks pretty good. I'm just going to do a few last things here. First, just getting some basic measurements. Symmetry is good, but we'll just measure the face itself. 27. 18. And again, very typical. No major issues that stand out to me. Okay. The last thing I want to do is just test the sensory function of your face. So I've got a couple things here. First thing is just a very soft, I'm going to test on your arm. You feel that? Versus a little bit more scratchy. Do you feel the difference? So I just want you to close your eyes and tell me what you feel. Is it soft?
Soft.
Or sharp? Okay?
Soft. Sharp. 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 Soft. Sharp. Sharp. Soft. 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 Sharp. Sharp.
Okay, good. Does this feel the same as that? Here and here, there and there. Okay. How about this? Does that feel the same all the way across? Same there and there.
Yeah.
Same all the way across there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to be touching your skin with something. What temperature does that feel like?
Cool.
Does it feel just as cold over here?
Mm-hmm.
Here?
Mm-hmm.
And here?
Yeah.
Okay. What does this feel like to you?
Vibrating.
Okay, tell me when it stops.
No.
Feel that?
Mm-hmm. No. No.
Okay. So I think all of that's fine. Now I want to focus on the scalp. And for this, I'm just going to be looking really, really thoroughly, so it might just take a little bit of time, okay?
Okay.
So I'll start with your right side. Let me just brush out the hair. I've just got a sanitized comb here, so I don't scrape you at all. Any itching on the scalp? Any burning sensations, tingling, things like that?
Not really.
Okay, so this is just going to be a preliminary exam then, since we haven't seen you before.
Okay.
Again, please let me know if there's any discomfort in the scalp.
Okay.
In fact, any pain when I touch here?
No.
Okay. So I'll start with this area. The scalp's looking really healthy. There is just a little bit of dryness, but you're not saying, you said no itchiness, nothing like that?
No.
Okay. Almost looks more like, do you have a product in your hair, like a dry shampoo or something?
Yeah, I did use some.
Yes, so that's, I think, what I'm seeing. I don't actually think it's any dandruff. I think it's the product itself. How often are you shampooing your hair?
I would say 2 times a week.
Okay, good. So not too much. There's really no oil in the hair, so that's good. I do see the hair is dyed.
Mm-hmm.
Are you using a color protective shampoo at all?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Color's holding up really well. Just see a little bit of a freckle right underneath the scalp hair, so let me measure that. It's always good to keep an eye on these ones that we can't see ourselves. That's 2 millimeters by 2 millimeters, symmetrical and even in color. Flat. Just touch your hair. There's a little bit of a redness right around here. Do you part your hair in the middle often?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think there's a little bit of extra sun exposure.
Yeah, I think so.
How often are you wearing hats outside?
Not super often.
Okay.
And I usually try to put sunscreen on my scalp, but I did forget this week.
Okay, yes, and I know we had a holiday this week, so if you were outside a lot, I think it could just be a little bit of exposure to the sun. Any serious pain there?
No.
Tingling or anything?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So it's not too severe of a burn, but of course it's very important to keep either sunscreen on the scalp or a hat on at all times, especially because you're so fair. And there's just a little bit of flaking with that burn as well.
Mm.
So I will apply some ointment to relieve that at the end of our session today.
Okay.
I'm just going to turn you like this. Just looking at the hair itself, it is definitely a little bit on the thinner end of normal, but not abnormal. Does that give you any trouble?
No.
Okay. As long as you're comfortable with it, there's no hair loss. The hairs are just fine, probably because you have blonde hair.
Mm.
Can't win them all, right? I'm going to test the sensation in the scalp as well before we do that treatment. But let's just actually comb through the hair and make sure there's no infestations or issues with excessive dander or anything like that that I didn't see. Could be hiding at the end of the hair. It looks really clear. I'll remove my gloves now and sanitize my hands. So we're going to do those same tests. This time though, I just have a little bit of a soft, it's a little bit rougher just because the scalp can be a little bit harder to feel than the face. The facial sensation is very sensitive, right? Very fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to just be touching you on your head, and I just want you to tell me when you feel it by saying the word yes, okay?
Okay. Yes. 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 Yes.
Okay, try this side.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Good. Got a very sharp tool here. I'm not going to be pressing it too hard, but again, it needs to be sharp enough for the scalp to really differentiate. So I just want you to tell me what this sensation is.
Sharp.
Okay.
Sharp. Sharp. Sharp.
Good.
Sharp. Sharp. Sharp.
Is it the same sharpness all over the head?
Mm-hmm.
Here and here? There and there?
Mm-hmm.
And all the way down here?
Mm-hmm.
All the way down there?
Yeah.
A little puff of air. I just want you to tell me if any tingling occurs. So I'm testing the sensitivity of the scalp now. If it doesn't, then feel free to say nothing. If you do feel something, let me know.
Okay.
So that's all okay?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. All right, so I think the main thing I want to do is apply a little bit of this treatment to a few key spots on the head, especially where the hair is, the scalp is more exposed, so on that part line, as well as right here, sort of at the beginning of the scalp where you may not apply the sunscreen, but it's still exposed.
Okay.
I'm just going to place a little bit of this serum on the applicator here and just rub it in. gonna rub it in now and give it a little bit of a head massage as well. Any remaining discomfort, Marley?
No.
Okay, I'm just going to brush out the hair one last time so you don't leave here tangled. Right, so I think everything looks great. I'm just going to make a couple of notes about the freckle here and the one in the scalp that I want to watch, as well as just keep an eye on this sun exposure. Make sure that there's no new freckles or moles forming that could be an indication of something more serious, or that the scalp is just not getting damaged. So do you have any other questions for me today?
No.
Okay, well I think everything looks really healthy, so I would say come in a year for your regular checkup, unless anything else bothers you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.